Competition. I am thrilled to introduce tonight's presenter, my very, very good friend, Elad Kabilio, who runs an organization called MusicTalks. MusicTalks offers uniquely personal and informal concerts featuring a wide range of music styles performed by the finest artists in New York. MusicTalk aims to break down the barriers between musicians and audiences by infusing engaging and interactive conversation into the concert experience. Audiences will form new connections to the music and have an experience that makes music talk. This session is a celebration of the music of Eurovision, and this is the barn raiser, guys. This is the one where we're really going to celebrate. So get your dancing shoes on. And hi, Elad, it's your show.
Thank you, Sarah Kay. Oh my God. Yes, I think we need a little lift. I would say so. So yesterday it was Shabbat, and Shabbat in May usually means that there might be Eurovision on TV. So Eurovision is such an Israeli experience. I know it sounds weird that you say Eurovision and then it's an Israeli experience, but it truly is. So if you don't know Eurovision, today you're going to know Eurovision so much. So Eurovision is the beloved, colorful, over-the-top song competition of Europe. It usually takes place on the first or second weekend of May, where all of the countries of Europe, and boy, there are many right now, meet to compete over who has the best song. After hundreds of years of wars, finally the countries of Europe meet to choose a song and to celebrate that. So it's such a wonderful event. And I would like to take you there because Eurovision is coming up this week. On Tuesday, it's going to be the semifinal, and on Saturday, it's going to be the real thing, Eurovision, the show. So here's to a wonderful celebration of Eurovision. So the last Eurovision took place actually in Tel Aviv. It was so wonderful that everybody were like, oh, we don't need Eurovision 2020. Let's cancel it. And just like, of course, Tel Aviv was such a great host. So in Tel Aviv, we had the theme of Dare to Dream. And we had a wonderful Eurovision. But Eurovision is quite an old competition. It started as a festival of song between only few countries. And it became a huge phenomenon. So I'm wondering if you know there are some huge stars that came out of Eurovision. Maybe you can recognize this amazing 80s outfit and hair. A huge breakthrough in Eurovision. Anyone knows this artist who represented Switzerland? She also had like this little tiny song in this small movie production of Titanic. Yes, this is Celine Dion who got her breakthrough at Eurovision. Eurovision is quite a spectacle. It's all about the huge dresses. It's about the costumes and the definition of colorful. And in the 70s, a huge band got their breakthrough at Eurovision. Do you know who's that band? I'm looking here at the chat. Feel free to be chatty with me. This huge band, which in Hebrew it means also your dad. It is Abba. So this is Abba at Eurovision in their colorful outfits singing Waterloo. And this is how Abba got their big break. Sweden is a huge country in Eurovision. And we thought it would be a nice thing actually to start our little show with Waterloo. So enjoy the show, dance with us, sing with us. Let's have some fun.
Oh yeah, and I have met my destiny. the shelf is always repeating itself. Waterloo, I was defeated, I won the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Wow, 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 Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo. My, I tried to hold you back, but you were stronger. Oh yeah. And now it seems the only chance is giving up the fight. And how could I ever refuse? I feel like I win when I lose. Waterloo, I was defeated, I won the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Wow, 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 Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo. And how could I ever refuse? I feel like I win when I lose. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Wow, 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 Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo. Yeah, 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 Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo.
So this is how it used to be with Eurovision. So back in the day, in the 50s and the 60s, after Second World War, there were festivals of songs, mainly in the French Riviera and Italy, and artists used to get their big break, and song competitions were like the it thing. And this is how Eurovision was born. So this is a scoreboard from back in the day, and as you can see here, so for instance, Mon Amour pour toi by Belgium, and this fine lady would put here the score. So you can see here, France got 29 points, and today it looks a little bit more like this. Okay, lots and lots of countries, lots and lots and lots of points. So I'm sure you guys are wondering how Israel made it into Eurovision. So answer is quite about life. So Israel is actually part of Asia if you looked at the map. But because of politics and because of life and because of the world, putting Israel in the Asian bodies of sports and different cooperations between countries was more complicated because Iran didn't really want us, and Afghanistan didn't really want us, and Iraq didn't really want us, and Syria didn't really want us. Yeah, everything kind of connects to where we are. So instead, we were thrown into Europe, and that just sucks. You know, it's hard. It's really hard to compete against France and Spain and to be part of basically almost part of the EU. So Israel has been part of Eurovision for so many years, and then a miracle happened. Israel wins Eurovision. Anybody knows the first song that won for Israel Eurovision? It's a funky song. Yeah, Bruno, you've got it. It's a funky song in the language of Bet, in the language of B. So this beautiful song by Ehud Mano, one of the best writers in Israel, amazing lyricist. In his childhood, he had this secret language that he shared with his friends, that on every syllable they would add a B. So if I say ani in Hebrew, abani bi. So you add a B every time, abani bi. And this is how this song came about. Abani bi, ani, ohev otach. Abani bi, aboebeb, abotabach. I love you. Just like I love you guys so much. And I love the Merlin Mayerson JCC at Tikkun at almost midnight. So this is Abana B, sung by Izar Cohen, and this is disco. This is disco time. We're in the 70s. Feel free to dance and see also the influence. Look at the Afro. It's the Israeli Yemeni singer with full-on American Afro.
Abani bi aboebeb, Abani bi aboebeb, abotabach. Abani bi aboebeb, Abani bi aboebeb, abotabach. Abani bi aboebeb, aboebeb, abotabach. כשהיינו ילדים, אהבנו בסודי סודות. אל מי היינו נחמדים, רק לדודים ולדודות. והבנות המסכנות סבלו, המתוקות הן רק מכות קיבלו. ואת מה שהרגשנו באמת, לחשנו רק בשפת הבט. הבני בי הבועבב, הבני בי הבועבב, הבוטבח. הבני בי הבועבב, הבני בי הבועבב, הבוטבח. אהבה היא מילה יפה, היא תפילה יפה, היא שפה. אהבה היא אליי טובה, היא תמיד תתגבר ובשפת אהבה נדבר. הבני בי הבועבב, הבני בי הבועבב, הבוטבח. הבני בי הבועבב, הבני בי הבועבב, הבוטבח. הבני בי הבועבב, הבני בי הבועבב, הבוטבח. אני אוהבת גם שלוש מילים, ומהו העולם שלוש מילים, וזה מה שאני מרגיש כעת, ממש כמו אז בשפת הבט. הבני בי הבועבב, הבני בי הבועבב, הבוטבח. הבני בי הבועבב, הבני בי הבועבב, הבוטבח. הבני בי הבועבב, הבועבב, הבוטבח.
What a fun and beautiful song. It's about the simplicity. And this song really took over Europe. And the best thing about Eurovision is that if you win Eurovision, you get to host it the next year. That's quite an honor. So for Leo Israel, being recognized for anything, it was a huge thing. You need to understand, in Israel, when we win something small, when we're being recognized for something small, we really freak out. We are so excited. Everybody goes to the main square in Tel Aviv, to Rabin Square. Everybody jumps into the fountain. Everybody celebrates all night long. It's such a big deal for us. So winning Eurovision in 1978 was a huge deal. And we get to host it the next year, as they say, next year in Jerusalem. So next year, we are in Jerusalem. And here's the next song that we presented in Jerusalem. I think maybe some of you will know this song. Maybe you recognize also the stage with this iconic, I don't know, sphere, Mars, I don't know. And with Gali Atari and Chalav Udvash, they presented such a beautiful, oh Bruno, you've got it. They presented such a beautiful song, a simple song. It's called Hallelujah. It's truly a classic. And Hallelujah is a very special song, actually. Hallelujah is a song that doesn't have a chorus. It's just, or maybe it only has a chorus. It just keeps going and going and going and keeps modulating, kind of like you just living Hallelujah. So Gali Atari with Chalav Udvash in Jerusalem, singing Hallelujah. So here's our tribute to Gali Atari, Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, לעולם. Hallelujah, ישירו כולם. במילה אחת בודדה, הלב מלא בהמון תודה, והולם גם הוא, איזה עולם נפלא. הללויה, עם השיר. הללויה, על יום שמאיר. על מה שהיה ומה שעוד לא היה. הללויה, הללויה, על הכל. הללויה, מחר ואתמול. והענבלים הגדולים יהדהדו בהמון צלילים, ואיתנו הם יאמרו הללויה. הללויה, עם השיר. הללויה, על יום שמאיר. הללויה, על מה שהיה ומה שעוד לא היה. הללויה, הללויה, על מה שהיה ומה שעוד לא היה. הללויה.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Israel is performing this song in 1979 in Jerusalem. Such a big deal for small Israel to be recognized, and also hosting Eurovision in the capital of Israel in Jerusalem. This is a huge thing. It's a page in history. This is even geopolitically very, very important moment. And Israel wins again. Israel wins back to back, which is quite rare. And everybody are losing their minds, like we're literally winning twice in a row. Now, small detail, I don't want to take it away from Gali Atari and Chalav Udvash, Milk and Honey. So don't tell anyone. But I have a little secret for you. One day before, a little peace treaty between Egypt and Israel was signed. And it might have helped Israel be a little bit popular back then. So it might have helped. But I think the song is so great and so beautiful and so positive. And, you know, for Eurovision, you really need to have a recipe. It needs to be a song that is catchy. By Eurovision rules, it must be under 3 minutes. There are strict rules. You can only have up to 6 people on stage. You cannot have more than 6 people. And if you want to win, you need to have a really, really catchy song, something that you can sing very quickly. And as you saw, hallelujah, very quickly you know the name of the song and you are able to learn how to sing it within 3 minutes. So the next song that we have for you, and some of you in the chat already got to it. The next song has a terrible, horrible name. It's not catchy. It's like it's impossible to pronounce. It's not too communicative to the audience. It has a very, very long Israeli in it. And yet it's one of our best songs. It won 2nd place, even though it did deserve 1st place. So I'm going to give you a little bit background for the wonderful song Chai, Alive. The song was written in 1983, and that song was representing Israel in Eurovision that took place that year in Germany, in Munich. So Ehud Manor, that wrote Abba, and again, one of our best lyricists, such a talent, very, very smart writer. He knew how to write a hit like Abba, a song that is very, very catchy. But he said, if Israel is coming to represent itself in Germany after the Holocaust, after this history, there can only be one song that represents us, and that is Chai, Alive. It's almost like sticking a little finger in their eye, bringing a song like Chai by Israel to the stage. And of course, we had to bring our very best, and our very best is Ofra Chaza. Anyone knows Ofra Chaza? Such a wonderful, amazing talent. She became an international pop star in late 80s. She was actually #1 in the Billboard charts in Europe, and especially in West Germany with this song Imni Nalu, where she infuses her Yemeni heritage, and she became such a huge star. She was nominated for the Grammy, and Ofra Chaza really represents the best of Israel. So the Yemeni Israeli singer is representing Israel on the stage in Munich, Germany. There's so much in this song. And just listen to the text. I think many of you would know it. But it keeps repeating over and over and over. Chai, Chai, Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. The people of Israel are alive. We are alive. And this is a huge, huge thing to say. So here it is. Chai.
שמעו אחי, אני עוד חי, ושתי עיניי עוד נישאות לאור. רבים חוכי וגם פרחי, ולפניי שנים רבות מספור. אני שואל ומתפלל, טוב שלא אבדה עוד התקווה, עובר מדור לדור, כמעיין מאז ועד עולם. אני שואל ומתפלל, שר אתמול לאבא, והיום אני וממחו חי בלילותיי, וגם פרחי עמוד האש עוד קם, עובר בלי די, אני עוד חי, ולרגליי מאשר מעבר לים, אני שומר ומתפלל, טוב שלא עבדה עוד התקווה, חי חי חי, עם ישראל חי, זה השיר שסבא שר אתמול לאבא, והיום אני עוד חי חי חי, כן אני עוד חי, זה השיר שסבא שר אתמול לאבא, והיום אני שיגעו חי, אני עוד חי, ושתי עיניי עוד נישאת לאור, רבים חוכי, אך גם פרחי, ולפניי שנים רבות מספור, אני שואל ומתפלל, טוב שלא עבדה עוד התקווה, חי חי חי, כן אני עוד חי, זה השיר שסבא שר אתמול לאבא, והיום אני עוד חי חי חי, עם ישראל חי, זה השיר שסבא שר אתמול לאבא, והיום אני עוד חי, 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 חי.
So I have to show you one more thing. The choices of colors on stage were also not by mistake. This entire operation of Israel performing at Eurovision 1983 in Munich was a very, very important moment for us. And Ehud Mano, in the interviews, did mention that he did it on purpose. He knew that chai is the wrong word to use because it's unpronounceable for most Europeans. But the message and what it is for Israel was so much greater than that. And this is the incredible story behind chai. So Eurovision is so much about colorful, bad taste, memorable, forgettable. It's all about that. So I want to show you one of the best examples of how wild Eurovision is, and tune in Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday to see Eurovision in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam. And this is, I don't know how many of you have watched it, but this is the winning song a few years back. This song that when we watched it, I remember we were like, what's going on? And I think it was so ridiculous that everybody were like, okay, this is so ridiculous, it needs to win. So this is the song that represented Finland. Oh yeah. Europe has voted, and this is the song that won.
The saints are crippled on this sinner's night. Lost are the lambs with no guiding light. Lost can roll like thunder, the rock's about to roll. It's the apocalypse, now made us so. All we need is lightning with power and might, striking down the prophets and fools. And as the moon is rising, gave us this sign. Now let us rise up in the world. Rock and roll angels, bring that hard rock, hallelujah. Humans and angels only one have a right. Rock and roll angels, bring that hard rock, hallelujah. God's creation.
Yes, Eurovision can be colorful and memorable. And actually, if you really listen to the song and you forget about the costumes and the voice, it's actually a very simple rock song, hard rock hallelujah. So yes, being a spectacle is something that's very, very important as part of Eurovision. And I'm sure you're wondering, so how does a song get to represent a country in Eurovision? So for many years in Israel, we had a Kdam Eurovision. That's the pre-Eurovision competition. So I'm going to take you down memory lane. Back in the day, every Yom Ha'atzmaut, every Independence Day in Israel, there was a song competition to crown the best song of Israel. And that was the launch pad for many artists, just making it into that competition. And the song that was crowned would become so famous. And so many famous artists made their way through that competition. With time, that competition became actually the pre-Eurovision competition, Kdam Eurovision. And over the years, especially in the 80s, it was quite the most popular show, and also an 80s extravaganza of bad taste. So I want to show you a little bit of our Kdam Eurovision, the pre-Eurovision competitions. It will give you a little look into, into Israel. So yes, the dresses and of course the shoulder pads. Not always we have huge budgets, so you know, this is the Kdam Eurovision 1986 with this beautiful, beautiful set. Of course, white piano. We had controversial artists and mini celebrities. She became later on a Knesset member for exactly 40 days. But the Kdam Eurovision sometimes brought huge stars to compete. And when we say huge stars in Israel, in the 80s, there was one rivalry that took us over. Sarah Kay, I hope you appreciate the background that I took care of here. This is my little tribute to you. This is, of course, on the right, Ofra Chaza. And on the left, this is Yardena Arazi. This is the biggest rivalry in Israel. This is Britney and Christina Aguilera. You make it your own. Also, there's a little bit, competition between the different diversities in Israel. So, of course, Ofra Chaza, who represent the Mizrahi artists, Yemeni, and Yardena Arazi, who represent Ashkenazi artists, and they were the biggest competition. Yardena Arazi went ahead and represented Israel in Eurovision 3 times, but unfortunately she never won. But she actually got to host Eurovision in Israel in 1979. So Yardena Arazi was all over Eurovision. And the next song that we have for you is a song that did not win Kdam Eurovision, never got to represent Israel at Eurovision, but it became a huge hit 30 years later. It's a beautiful, light-hearted song called Od Nagia. May we get there. We will get there. And this is a song that I think especially today we need to focus on that message. Od Nagia by Yardena Arazi.
שלא ידע אהבה בחייו, מי שלא ידע אהבה, מי שלא טעם גאווה מימיו, מי שלא טעם גאווה, בל יקשה את ליבו לעזוב, בל יאמר את נפשו לעזוב, עוד לא באה דרכו אל סופה, עוד תבוא שעתו
Now you need also to clap.
שלא מצא מנוחה לרגליו, מי שלא מצא מנוחה, מי שלא שמע הבטחה באוזניו, מי שלא שמע הבטחה, בל יקשה את ליבו לעזוב, בל יאמר את נפשו לעזוב, עוד לא באה דרכו אל סופה, עוד תבוא שעתו היפה. נגיע ליום המואר, עוד נפתיע שלא זרע אדמה בידיו, מי שלא זרם אדמה, ומי שלא מצא נחמה בשנותיו, מי שלא מצא נחמה, עוד נגיע, נגיע, נגיע ליום המואר, עוד נפתיע, נפתיע, נפתיע את יום המחר, עוד נגיע, נגיע, נגיע ליום המואר, עוד נגיע, עוד נגיע, נגיע אל יום המחר, מי שלא שמע אהבה בחייו.
Look how Omer is enjoying that song. It's such a fun song, and I highly recommend if you YouTube that song, you'll find a remix that is a huge party song in Israel. So many people love that song. So you need to understand that there are so many songs that didn't make it even to Eurovision, and they have a life of its own. And I'm going to share with you one more K'dam Eurovision song, a song that did not make it to Eurovision. And I'm doing something very sneaky because I'm plugging my next show at 12:30. Oh, it's already past midnight. Oh, we should have had a countdown. We're going to have a program about songs of Jerusalem. And in the entire history of Eurovision in Israel, there's only one song about Jerusalem. And the song is called Yerushalem, which is actually the original name of Yerushalayim, Yerushalem. So it's a beautiful, simple ballad about Jerusalem, the only song that we sing about Jerusalem. This is another 80s fest, even though it's from 1992, but it feels totally like the 80s. And I hope you enjoy this really kind of beautiful song, very quirky.
נישאת מעל הרי תפילה צופה ירושלם, יופייה מכה ממיס כל לב עייף ומתעלם, על חומותיה טליתות קוראות לשם, אולי ישמע ויקיים בסמטאות המואזין קולו שוב מצלצל, ובן ערב מול המדבר יכרע וימלמל, בכנסיות בעמודים השמיעו אות, או עיר קדושה ליבה לבכות, ירושלם לך כל שירי אהבתי, ירושלם אלפי שנות חוט תפילתי, ירושלים לא עוד עיר חלום, ליבה עובד תורה והיא תביא שלום, ירושלם לך כל שירי אהבתי, ירושלם אלפי שנות חוט תפילתי, ירושלים לא עוד עיר חלום, ליבה עובד תורה והיא תביא שלום, ובבקרים כיפות זהב בכסף ידלקו, עם ריח קטורת לשמיים יזעקו, מקצוות תבל עולים יבואו לך, לקרוא להם שנות חוט תפילתי, ירושלים לא עוד עיר חלום, ליבה עומד תורה והיא תביא שלום. ירושלם הכל שירי אהבתי, ירושלם אלפי שנות חוט תפילתי, ירושלים לא עוד עיר חלום, ליבה עומד תורה והיא תביא שלום.
So that was Yerushalem, a beautiful pop ballad, and the only song about Jerusalem in the entire history of Eurovision. So I want to share with you something very personal about the Eurovision experience. So as a child, every year we would watch Eurovision with the family, and because of time differences, in Israel we would watch it on Shabbat on the end of Shabbat, on Saturday evening, and it was at 10 p.m. Israel time because again, Israel is further a little bit away from Europe. So in other countries it's at 8 p.m. In Israel it's at 10 p.m. And also in Israel, Saturday evening is school night. In rest of Europe, Saturday evening is not a school night. So as a child, I would always get to watch a little bit of the beginning of Eurovision, and then I would have to go to bed because that show ends way past midnight, and today it's like it can be 2 a.m. in Israel so easily. So I would always get to watch a little bit, and then I was like, I had to go back to bed. I remember so many Eurovisions that I would sit in the living room with my family, and we will all excitedly watch Eurovision, and it would always start with this music. And we knew that we are about to watch the most exciting show on earth. It has 250 million viewers. And every year we would watch it, and every year, after like 15 minutes, I was already passed out. As a child, I don't remember watching Eurovision like so many times. They would wake me up in the morning and say, yeah, you didn't even watch the song, you fell asleep before Israel was presenting its song. But I really do remember this song, the next song that we have for you. The song is called Kan, right here, or maybe it's over there, but the song Kan by Orna and Moshe, this is them in Eurovision wearing like traditional Georgian clothes. And this song that became a super popular song in Israel, every child in Israel knows to sing this song, in 1991, is truly giving the story of Israel, because we have huge immigration of 1 million Jews from the former USSR, joining Israel, and also immigration from Ethiopia, and we have people like coming in, and it was such an important step for Israel, and we're discovering that there are so many more of us, and that Israel can be a home and a refuge for so many people. So that song truly encompasses the time and tells you, Kan Beiti, this is my house, I built it with my own hands. This is where I was born, and this is where I live, and there are so many interviews with people that came from different countries, that they learned to sing that song, and that song really made them feel at home. So this is Ornan and Moshe Datz. Back then they were married, now they're not married. Sing with us, כאן נולדתי.
כאן ביתי פה אני נולדתי, במישור אשר על גב הים. כאן מן הבאר שתיתי מים, ושתלתי דשא במדבר, ושתלתי דשא במדבר. כאן ביתי פה אני שיחקתי, בשפלה אשר על גב ההר. כאן מן הבאר שתיתי מים, ואין לי שום מקום אחר בעולם, אין לי שום מקום אחר בעולם. כאן נולדתי, כאן נולדו לי ילדיי, כאן בניתי את ביתי בשתי ידיי. כאן גם אתה איתי וכאן כל אלף ידידיי, ואחרי שנים 2000 סופרים דודיי. כאן את כל שיריי אני ניגנתי, והלכתי במסע לילי, וכאן בין נעוריי אני הגנתי על חלקת האלוהים שלי, על חלקת האלוהים שלי. כאן נולדתי, כאן נולדו לי ילדיי, כאן בניתי את ביתי בשתי ידיי. כאן גם אתה איתי וכאן כל אלף ידידיי, ואחרי שנים 2000 סופרים דודיי. כאן את שולחני אני ערכתי, פת של לחם פרח רענן, דלת לשכנים אני פתחתי, ומי שבא נאמר לו אהלן, מי שבא נאמר לו אהלן. כאן נולדתי, כאן נולדו לי ילדיי, כאן בניתי את ביתי בשתי ידיי. כאן גם אתה איתי וכאן כל אלף ידידיי, ואחרי שנים 2000 סופרים דודיי. כאן גם אתה איתי וכאן כל אלף ידידיי, ואחרי שנים 2000, אחרי שנים 2000, כאן נולדתי, כאן נולדו לי ילדיי, כאן בניתי את ביתי בשתי ידיי. כאן גם אתה איתי וכאן כל אלף ידידיי, ואחרי שנים 2000, כאן גם אתה איתי וכאן כל אלף ידידיי, ואחרי שנים 2000 סוף סוף לי דודיי.
Oh my god, I laughed so hard reading Sergey writing that this is a cousin of Ocho Kondalikas. It's true a little bit. It has something there. I never thought about it. But the beautiful thing about this song is that this process of Eurovision, there's no organization behind writing the songs. Artists write a song and then there's a competition, and the most popular song is winning and going ahead to represent Israel. And I think it's so beautiful that a song like that kind of found a way to represent the time, represented Israel, and we were so close to win with that one. I really remember it was in Italy. We won third place, and it's amazing how this song became so popular and how every child in Israel still knows how to sing this song, and it's been quite a while since then. So we are very, very close to the end of our show, and of course we didn't have enough time to cover everything, unfortunately, but of course I have to tribute the third Eurovision win in 1998 with Dana International, the first transgender artist to represent Israel, which is a huge thing. It was a huge thing for the entire LGBTQI community, and also for Israel to show itself like this, and to show that Israel is truly a tapestry of lots of complexities, but also of freedoms. Here she's wearing that notorious Jean-Paul Gaultier with real feathers dress. A little anecdote: when she performed the song in the competition, she did not wear the Jean-Paul Gaultier feather outfit because she didn't want to upset anyone. But Dana International is quite a stubborn person, so after she won it, she wore it because she knows that a spectacle is a spectacle. And here she is singing the song after she wins it. And the next year, long and behold, the same hall is in 1979. It's 1999 in Jerusalem. We're hosting Eurovision again. And we had to wait 20 more years until this little ball of joy, Netta, is winning Eurovision for Israel once again with a song that encompasses the Me Too movement. Look at her. Netta, who's been a huge thing for women empowerment and also body issue empowerment. Netta gave stage for so many people with the song Toy. And the title, I'm Not Your Toy. You can't play with me. I'm my own person. And this song of true empowerment is such an inspiration. And here's our little cover for it, a more acoustic version of this really beautiful and yet very catchy song.
Look at me, I'm such a beautiful creature. I don't care about your modern time preacher. Welcome, boys, too much noise. I will teach ya. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey, I think you forgot how to play. My teddy bear's running away. The Barbie got something to say. Hey, hey, hey. My Simon, just leave me alone. I'm taking my Pikachu home. You're stupid just like you're smart, just like your smartphone. Wonder Woman, don't you ever forget. You're divine, he's about to regret. He's a toy, just a stupid boy. I'm not your, I'm not your, I'm not your, I'm not your toy. You stupid boy. I'll take you down, I'll make you watch me dancing with my toys, the motherfucker beat. Anilo Booba, don't you go and you play with me, boy. No, no, Anilo Booba, don't you go and play with me, boy. Anilo Booba, don't play with me, boy. Wonder Woman, don't you ever forget. You're divine, he's about to regret. You're just a boy. I'm not your toy. You stupid boy. I'll take you down. I'll make you watch me dancing with my dolls to that motherfucker beat. I'm not your toy, you stupid boy. Oh, I'll take you down. I'll make you watch me dancing to the motherfucker beat.
So this week, Ed and Elena is going to represent us in Rotterdam. Eurovision, after a year without Eurovision, finally Eurovision is back. And our last song for tonight's program is actually the song that was supposed to represent Israel last year. And it was a wonderful song. And unfortunately, Eurovision didn't allow carrying a song to the next year. So Ed and Elena is going to sing a brand new song this year. But last year, we were supposed to come with the song Faker Libi, which was written by the creator of Toy and Idan Reichel. If you know Idan Reichel, amazing writer. So that powerhouse combo came up with a beautiful song that gives you English, Hebrew, Arabic, Amharic, which represent Ed and Elena's Ethiopian roots. It's a wonderful song, and we would love to share this song with you. Here's Ed and Elena from this week in Rotterdam. We are so excited.
Faker Libi wade hano, nawadane I love you. Faker Libi wade hano, nawadane I love you. Once upon a time, I was looking for a sign. Pachamama, show my way, oh be my guide. And love is on the mind. Close your eyes and you may find Melodia, Melodia. See the energy inside. See all the people coming my way. And love is on my way. Makalakumate, makalakumate, masa. Makalakumate, makalakuma, bekeli be. Tonight is our story. We celebrate the glory. We have no shame. Bekeli be. Tonight I'm gonna find you. Tonight I'm gonna love you. I'll call your name. Bekeli be. Ahu sheli. Ahu be. Look at us tonight, color party side to side. Melodia, melodia, falling on us from the sky. See all the people coming my way. Love is on my way. Makalakumate, makalakumate, masa. Makalakumate, makalakuma, bekeli be. Tonight is our story. We celebrate the glory. We have no shame. Bekeli be. No, I'm not ashamed to love you. Tonight I'm gonna find you. I'll call your name. Bekeli be. Ahu sheli. Otrani ohevet. Bekeli be wade hano, nawadane I love you. 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 Bekeli be wade hano, nawadane I love you.
And that's it. This is our show. Thank you so much for joining us for this Eurovision journey. And stick around. We're going to continue now with the journey to Jerusalem. So thank you so much for joining us.